here we go. This is what we got for dinner tonight. Let's give it a taste. Oh yeah. This is really just how I remember it. When I made it so many years ago as a kid in the box, Hamburger Helper. Oh yeah. Well, hi everyone. Hi friends. This is Amy and I'm in my little kitchen. I'm kind of touting my Central Michigan Go Chips, Chippewas. I don't know, sweatshirt and stuff. It just, you know, I'm home. It's the day off of school. It's a holiday type of thing. It's cold out there, and I thought about making something that reminds me of my childhood. I don't know about all of you guys, but when I started cooking for my family, like when I was like 14 or something like that, a lot of pre-packaged kind of like meals were available back in those days, back in the 70s. Like tuna helper, hamburger helper, you had minute rice, you had all of these other different types of things, and more out of convenience and everything. And my mom worked, you know, at the local community college as an admin and worked her way up to working for the president. But anyway, and so one of those comfort foods was Hamburger Helper. So we are going to make like a homemade version of Hamburger Helper, and I hope it tastes good. It's been quite some time that I've made anything like this because, you know, my kids are out of the house and stuff like that. So it's a great, dry, cold, wintry day. These are the days I love. I don't like the wet, cold, rainy days that we have here in Oregon, but we've got snow. It's cold out there. It's dry. The sun's out, and I'm just loving it. In fact, here, let's see here. Let me take you around there. I don't know, can you see it a little bit? This is my outside. Okay, it's like piddly amount of snow, but it's enough for us. Anyway, that is my outside right now. Just thought I'd go and show you guys. Hopefully I got this set up again. But anyway, so we are gonna make Hamburger Helper. I'm using some leftover bacon. I would have used 3 other pieces of bacon, but I have, you know, 1 little strip of bacon, so I'm just gonna throw it in here. But I've got about a pound, just slightly over a pound of ground hamburgers, so we're gonna have that. I have about 1 cup and barely a quarter of dry elbow macaroni. But you can use a different type of pasta, like a penne pasta if you want it. I don't know, the elbow pasta is kind of traditional. I'm gonna use only a half an onion. I'm gonna use a little bit of tomato paste because I'm hoping this will work without having to make like a roux sauce. I'm gonna add a little bit of pepper, ground mustard in this, a little bit of smoked paprika, a few flakes of chili peppers, and I forgot to get out the oh no, here it is. Some oregano in there. And this is about a teaspoon, maybe 2 teaspoons of each. I have a tendency to add in a little bit more because I really want some flavor in this dish. I've got to grate up some cheese. Hopefully I have enough cheese left over here. And we're going to use a little bit of beef broth or stock. If I can, I will try and get beef stock. I think it adds a little more flavor and richness to any dish that you're making, but beef stock is perfectly fine. And you know what? If you wanted to make this with ground turkey or ground chicken, that's fine too. You'll just add a little different flavor to it. I'm used to doing it with ground beef, so that's what we're gonna do, ground beef. So let's get cooking. Let's make a little bit of Hamburger Helper. Let's go retro. A little back in time. I like doing that, so let's give it a try. Okay, so like I said, I'm only doing a half of an onion. This was a new onion. I forgot that I had some onion left in the refrigerator. So we're gonna go ahead and use that. But I'm just gonna dice these up. These will not take long to cook. But we're gonna saute them in the pan over there by the stove, just to get them with some flavor, and then we're gonna add the meat. Then I'm gonna add the garlic and the bacon. And then we'll add a little bit of salt and pepper. Once the meat is kind of fairly cooked. Some oregano, some of the mustard, smoked paprika. I kind of want that because this has got a cheese in it. It's kind of like a cheese sauce. A little bit in it as well. And then I'm going to add in about a tablespoon of tomato paste just to kind of thicken up the sauce a little bit, but also to give a little more depth of flavor to this dish. So you can think of it as similar to chili mac, but it's going to be a little different because there's no beans or green pepper or stuff like that. I'm hoping this will bring me back to my childhood. Anyway, I got the onion done. Okay, I have to tell you guys something. I feel horrible. I was asked to be on this podcast today. And, you know, I don't have to teach, don't have to, you know, so I'm just happy-go-lucky, just kind of going through my day. Took Daisy for a walk. And for some reason, I did not see it show up on my phone earlier today. I sit down, going to look at my computer to find some other substitute teaching jobs. And it says time sensitive, 1 to 2. And I'm thinking, okay, time sensitive, 1 to 2 today. What did I have today? So I go in and I'm like, I said a few choice words, tell you the truth. I'm like, oh my God, I am so bummed. This person is going to think I'm horrible and just careless. I just really completely forgot. It was on my calendar on my phone and everything. But for some reason, if it showed up earlier today, I did not see it. So I tried to call her, I tried to text her and send an email saying, I am so sorry. Because, you know, I was so looking forward to doing this podcast with her. And it's her podcast. And I thought, oh my gosh, I just felt so bummed. Anyway, so right then and there, I thought, you know what? I'm doing a cooking video because I feel bad. I feel horrible. Something that's trying to make me feel a little bit better is cooking. So when Chris gets home or earlier today, or we'll probably eat earlier today, I have about a couple of cloves of garlic, by the way, here. I'm not going to cook them with the onions, though, because I don't want them to burn. Anyway, I felt so bad. Have you guys ever done that? You know, you put something on your calendar, you have every intention, it's on your mind, but it was not on my mind yesterday. Because I think if it was on my mind yesterday, hopefully I would have remembered today, but she's going to think I'm miserable. Oh, I'm horrible. I feel so bad. So anyway, I've got the onions done, the garlic done, the bacon chopped up. Because I don't really have some bacon in here, because I just thought bacon would add, you know, a little bit of flavor. I might cook this meat with a little bit of olive oil and just a little bit of bacon grease. That'll create some really good flavor for this. And then after the meat's done, I'll add everything else. And then I will grate the cheese once it gets all heated up. Once the pasta, the elbow pasta is all cooked up, then I can add the cheese. So I have still time to grate the cheese. So let's head on over to the stove and we'll get cooking. This is kind of like homemade cheesy hamburger helper. Ooh, cannot wait. Okay, I have some bacon grease and oh, look at that, a little piece of bacon got in there. Huh, well, I'll get that out. Maybe I'll chop it up. Anyway, yep, I got some of that in there. So I'm gonna start doing the onions and then we'll grab the meat. So we're gonna just kind of add the onions, just saute them for a little bit. Won't take, I diced them up, Chris really doesn't like onions, so I didn't leave them in big chunks or anything. I diced them up kind of small. I'm not going to say fine, just small. Okay. I'm just gonna add in a little, no, you know what? I'm not gonna add any salt in right now. I'm gonna wait till I add the meat, because the cheese and a little bit of the tomato paste and stuff like that will have some salt, and I just really want to season the meat too. Okay. There we go. Let me get the meat. This is really a one-pot dish. I love it. So I'm just gonna salt the meat a little bit. I still gotta learn how to use a little bit of the salt that Audrey and Jeremy gave to me for Christmas. I think you can find it at the Food Nanny on Instagram. Anyway, they have a whole big thing of really natural. They do a lot of sourdough. They got a cookbook out. But anyway, the salt is like, it hasn't been processed. Like, this is the real stuff. And so I'm not, it's a little bit bigger chunks or whatever you want to call it. So I'm not sure if I'm supposed to use a pedestal type of thing and mash it and make it more fine. So anyway, we're gonna make it work with this. Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna cook the onions a little bit more. I'll be back. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add in the hamburger. Let me think. Yeah, I'm gonna add in the garlic later, because I really don't want the garlic to burn, but I want it to be incorporated in the meat. So I'm just gonna flip this in here like that. Hang on. Then I'm gonna add just a little more salt to the meat here. A little more pepper. And then we'll be cooking out, and you just break it up. But I hope this will taste as good as I remember it. So I'm trying to avoid doing like a roux creamy sauce, so hopefully this will work. I mean, it'll be a cheesy sauce, but I'm just trying to avoid having to do like a roux, that kind of sauce. So we're just gonna leave this here. I'll continue to break it up, and we're gonna continue to cook the meat till it's nice and brown. And before the meat gets fully cooked, I will add the bacon and the garlic to incorporate those flavors, along with the oregano, smoked paprika, a few chili pepper flakes, and the powdered mustard. So anyway, okay, told ya, this is not going to be a complicated meal, but it is going to be a delicious meal. I just know it. Okay, I'll see you back here in a few. Okay, because the meat is almost done, not quite, I definitely still have some red or pink. Ouch, I better get some. I definitely have, you know, some red and pink showing, so it's not quite done yet. But I am gonna go ahead and add in the garlic so I can incorporate some of those. Some of that flavor into the meat. This is this little itty bitty piece of bacon. It was already cooked and everything. I just decided to put it in here. If you don't want bacon in here, you don't have to. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and add in my other seasonings here. Oregano, like I said, about a teaspoon or two. Whoa, smoked paprika came out a little faster than I thought. And just a few red pepper flakes. So, what do you want to call that? 2 splashes? 2 little shakes. It smells good already. And then definitely just about a teaspoon of the mustard. Because I've already salt and peppered this, so I think the meat should have definitely plenty of flavor here. Now, depending on the fat content of your ground beef, if you're using really lean ground beef, be sure not to overcook it, because basically you're doing like a steak, a very good steak ground up. But if you have a higher fat content, be sure to drain off the grease, because you don't want that part of your sauce. So I'm gonna see how much. I think here I have a 90-10. So I'll have some, but I'm just gonna see how much. Most of the time I do drain my meat of the fat, but if it's very little, I don't, because that really has a lot of flavor in it, and so many other stuff that's gonna be added to this that it's not gonna really make a difference. So let's see here. I don't know why the onions are sticking here. Okay, so, I mean, oops, I guess you couldn't tell. The meat ran into it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add in the beef broth or stock. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and add in the tomato paste. Sorry guys, I forgot to open this up before I started rolling. And I'm sure I'm gonna hopefully use the rest of this tomato paste for something else, because tomato paste is very, oh, it's so good, it's so rich. Do I have a spoon here? Yeah, here we go. So I'm just gonna add, this is about a teaspoon, so 1 tablespoon, 2 teaspoons, heaping teaspoons. That'll really create some depth of flavor. Okay, I'm gonna mix that in with the meat. Oh yeah. With the oregano and even the smoked paprika, I think this is gonna, it smells good anyway. Let's put it that way. Just hoping the cheese sauce works. Okay. I'm just gonna keep stirring that a little bit, making sure the tomato paste is ground up. Chris has come home, so he's really gonna be happy that we're gonna have dinner a little bit earlier tonight. And the other thing is, I just found out, because I was thinking I was working, subbing tomorrow, but school is canceled because we're expected to have rain tonight with freezing temperatures below 32. So they decided to go ahead and cancel school. Because the one thing about here, we definitely have some flat areas, but we definitely have some hilly areas. So the buses and, depending on where students live to get to school can be kind of hard. And so I don't have school tomorrow. So guess what? Maybe I'll make a cherry pie. That sounds good. Okay. Let's just, well, there's so little in here. I'm going to use the rest of this. Yeah, so little. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and add in about 3 cups. If I need a little bit more, I'll add it. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to go ahead and our pasta is going to cook in this, so it too will be able to get some, you know, incorporate some of the flavor that's in here, but also absorb a lot of this liquid because, you know, I mean, look at it. So I should, I just want to taste this. Ooh, it's kind of good. But I love the fact that I get unsalted broth a lot of times, so I can regulate, and the pasta is going to absorb a lot of this flavor as well. So I'm just going to add in a little bit more salt. There we go. Put that away. Put that away right now. I'm going to add in just a little more oregano. So definitely 2 teaspoons. And just a little bit more smoked paprika. Okay, there we go. Okay. We are ready to go to add in this pasta. I'm going to bring it to a boil, and then I'm going to let it simmer. It's so funny, whenever I dump pasta in a dish like this, I'm like, wait a minute, there's not enough pasta in here. Forgetting that pasta swells up, so. Here, I'll let you come and see it. So that way you can see how liquid it is now, but how it will thicken up later. See? I still think I should have added a little more pasta. But that was about 1 cup. Uncooked. Okay, we'll see you guys back here in about, I don't know, 20 minutes. Okay, while the meat and the pasta is cooking away, I am just gonna grate up some cheese, and I'm gonna wanna try and get about 2 cups. And I don't know why I'm kind of measuring this, because I mean, maybe I'll put some, if I have too much, maybe I'll put some cheese on top. So this is about, I don't know, 1.5 cups here. So I got a little bit more ways to go. Like I said, sometimes visually, I just can't read it. I just cannot read it. So I'll just continue to grate about another 1/2 cup or so. Maybe I'll sprinkle a little bit on top along with a little bit of parsley. Now, I do not have any fresh chives, and I think fresh chives would have gone well with this as a garnish on top. So I do have parsley, so I'm just gonna chop up some parsley and sprinkle that on top. So anyway, I'll continue to grate this, and then we'll be able to eat this homemade Hamburger Helper. Let's go back in time. A little retro memory, at least for me it is. Because I don't even think they make Hamburger Helper anymore, you know, in a in a box. I think when we did it, all you had to really supply was, you know, maybe water or something for the sauce, because it was, you know, a dry mixture, hamburger, and maybe some onions, or maybe green pepper if you wanted to add that, depending on what kind of Hamburger Helper you were making, because they had like, I don't know, they had like maybe 8 different kinds or something like that. And then they got into tuna helper, to canned tuna, which canned tuna is pretty good, you guys. I remember making that casserole with the kind of like potato chips or something like that on top. And so, I mean, that wasn't a tuna helper, but that was just a casserole dish that I remember making, or my mom showing me how to make it. That was really good. I mean, you know, tuna's good. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up, and then we'll be able to finish the meal, okay? Okay, well, I just stirred this up a little bit. We are going to, you know what? I may add a little more beef I may add a little more beef stock. I don't want this to be too dry, so I think in my recipe, I'm gonna go with anywhere to 3 to 4 cups of beef broth. Okay, now we're just gonna incorporate this lovely cheese. This will help all that creaminess as well. Okay, and then we're just gonna let this sit for a minute till the cheese melts. Oh yeah. In fact, I think I might just add all of it. I still have a little bit for a garnish. So probably about 2.5 cups. 2.5 cups of cheese. Okay. Gotta make sure I get that all off this wooden spoon. I don't know, you guys, this is how I was brought up. You almost lick the pot to get everything out, you know? I usually use a wooden spoon or whatever on my Le Creuset pots and stuff like that so it doesn't scrape up the bottom too much. Okay, I'm just gonna let this melt a little bit, kind of get all warmed up, and I'm gonna serve this with some broccoli and maybe with some toasted buttered panko crumbs on top of the broccoli. So, okay, we're almost ready to eat. Oh, yeah. Let me show you what I've got here. Let me back this off a little bit. Oh, I guess I can't. I thought I could, or it didn't. Huh. Oh, well. Anyway, here it is. Doesn't that look good? Huh? Doesn't that look good? Come on. I think this will taste just as good as the box Hamburger Helper. Woohoo! Well, hi friends, we're finally done with homemade Hamburger Helper. I'm just serving it up with broccoli with a little bit of butter, lemon zest, and a little bit of a drizzle of lemon juice with toasted panko crumbs. But look at this. I think this looks delicious. I do. I think it will be. So let's give it a try. Just gonna put a little bit here. I'm gonna put some, it's been in the pan for a while, so I had to keep it warm because I made it so early. I'm just gonna put a little bit of cheese on it. Sprinkle it with a little bit of parsley. And there you have it. We've got homemade Hamburger Helper. I think it'll be wonderful. So give it a try. Go to my YouTube channel, Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. Check out the recipe there, or go to amyroloffslittlekitchen.com. I'd love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be wonderful as well. But anyway, here we go. This is what we got for dinner tonight. Let's give it a taste. Oh yeah. This is really just how I remember it. When I made it so many years ago as a kid in the box, Hamburger Helper. Oh yeah. They might have even called this like cheeseburger. I don't know. I like it. I hope you guys give it a try. It is delicious. So check it out. Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, my YouTube channel. You can even find me on TikTok now. My team thinks I need to be on TikTok. So here I am. Okay, thanks everyone. Thanks for joining me from my little kitchen to yours. Keep gathering around the table with your family and friends. Thanks. Bye.